Stephen A. Smith has some advice for Democrats after the election. Let's see what it is.
Because now I'm about to turn my attention to the Democrats in the presidential election they lost 4 weeks ago. I mentioned it just a second ago. I'm going to mention it again because the news doesn't get any better in terms of how much they spent to win. The Harris campaign reportedly paid Al Sharpton's nonprofit organization $500,000 prior to the vice president's sit down with a civil rights activist and an MSNBC host. According to records from the Federal Election Commission, the Harris-Walz campaign made two separate donations of $250,000 to Sharpton's group on September 5th and October 1st. Harris sat down with Sharpton for an MSNBC interview that aired on October 20th, nearly 3 weeks after the donations from her campaign to the National Action Network took place. How you think that looks? See, I know a lot of people.
Not good. I can tell you how it looks right now, Stephen A. And at least it was money well spent. Huh? Oh, wait. It wasn't? $500,000 for Al Sharpton? Listen, this isn't the 60s or the 70s. I don't know what. Like, these guys, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, like, these, yeah, I know the historical context of these people, but who's giving Al Sharpton $500,000 in 2024? Like, Kamala Harris's campaign was the worst run campaign I've ever seen in my life. Like, from every aspect, financially, strategy, like not doing the Rogan interview. And some people say, well, it was good she didn't do the Rogan interview because she wouldn't have been able to sit for 3 hours and not look crazy. Well, hey, that should kind of tell you something right there. That should be the ball game. If you can't sit down with a podcaster for 3 hours because people might learn that you don't know anything about anything, that might be a good indicator you shouldn't be running for the most powerful position in the world. Jesus.
I'm going to sit up here and they're going to want me to get on Reverend Al Sharpton. I know a lot of people who would have taken the money. I'm not going to knock him for that. He was going to vote for her no matter what. He certainly wasn't going to vote for Trump. Oprah Winfrey and the $2.5 million. I didn't like that her production company received, but it wasn't illegal. It just came across as a bit disingenuous because if you're that fervent of a supporter for Kamala Harris, why do you need to be paid? If you're a billionaire, especially, and it's $2.5 million. Now, Sharpton and the National Action Network, they don't have billions. I'm not going to knock them for taking the money. I don't applaud it. I don't think it looks great, but there's no crime committed here, at least as far as I know. Kamala.
Oh, there are Democrats, Stephen A. There's probably been a lot of crimes committed that you don't know about in this campaign that have yet to come out. But he's right, though. I want you to think about what happened, right? Like, think about this. She paid all these celebrities, Oprah, Al Sharpton, Beyonce, Usher, Quavo, Meg Thee Stallion, like from rappers to singers to actresses to Cardi B. Think about what we're saying here. She paid these people 6-7 figures to endorse her for president. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I endorse you for president, especially if I'm already in a position of power or influence, why in the world would I need to get money from you if I'm endorsing you as a person I believe in? The crazier part about it too is this. It was right in front of our faces. Like, come on, it isn't like the money, it came out that the money that she sent to them was not supposed to be known about, and it's illegal to do that. Imagine if it was illegal to do that, and it came out that she did it, right? And then the jig was up, and Oprah and everybody was like, "Oh man, we lied, we got caught." We tried to make it seem like we were endorsing her because we genuinely believed in her and liked her and her policies, but really we got paid for it. Dang it! Don't believe our endorsement. All right. No, Kamala Harris paid these people knowing that this information would be public. So They're just as as the old folks say, they just playing in our face. These people are playing in our face with no shame. They're endorsing a candidate who we could all see has nothing going on upstairs, and knowing that we're going to be able to see that the campaign paid that money to these organizations and to these people, and they're still looking us dead in the face like nothing. Like it's like if a magician told you how the trick works and did the trick and still expected you to believe it. Like, see, I did the trick. Why are you not impressed? Because I know how the trick was done. That's not how this works. Kamala Harris and her campaign said we're going to just brazenly give these people money to endorse us, even though people are going to be able to see that we gave them money to endorse us, but the people are still supposed to take their endorsement as credible. That say a lot about what they think about y'all. Not me. No. Y'all ain't. They ain't gonna try me like that. I'm sorry. That says a lot of what they think about the American people.
Harris, her campaign, and the Democrats are another matter. Do you have any idea how pathetic y'all look?
They don't.
That you were literally paying people who supported you before they sat down with you and gave you the interview. What would be the incentive to that? Could that be so they didn't ask you certain questions and they did ask you other questions, and that you knew the interviews were going to be all nice and fluffy and cozy inside? Was that it? Because it makes no sense. Oprah Winfrey was not going to vote for Donald Trump. Al Sharpton was not going to vote for Donald Trump. His support for you and the Democratic Party is clear and consistent. So how do you look paying them? How do you look paying Oprah or the bevy of other individuals that will probably learn you paid before you sat down and did interviews with them? It doesn't look good. Now, if that's not bad enough, and you're just saying that Stephen A., this is no political aficionado, who the hell is he to open his mouth about this particular subject? Okay, let's go to a Democratic strategist that has existed for years, especially one who made a name for himself during the Clinton administration or Clinton's campaign to the White House. How about Mr. James Carville himself? Let's see what he had to say. Right there, the word unfathomable when it came to spending and how it's going to hurt the Democratic brand. The resistance is going to have trouble raising money. Amen to that? First of all, how you blow $1.5 billion? Secondly, what the hell are you doing needing more money?
$1.5 billion. Boy, if I tell you what, you know what you could do with $1.5 billion? She not only spent $1.5 billion, she lost. Do you understand that? How crazy that is? You spent $1.5 billion and lost. Well, at least she spent $1.5 billion and lost, but it was really close. Oh, no, it wasn't close either. She lost all 7 swing states. This is the worst loss in my lifetime for the Democratic Party. I cannot think of, on a presidential level, I cannot think of a loss as bad as this for any candidate. I mean, even when you look back at the Bush Gore thing, you know, and the recount and the Florida situation and all that, that still wasn't as bad as this, in my opinion, because at least that was close. At least to even be in recount territory means that it was close, and that election was super close. And it's a lot of people who walked away believing different things about what happened there. But hey, we won't touch on that right now. But point is, you lost the popular vote. You lost all 7 swing states. You didn't do better in not one single county in the entire United States. Look it up. There's no county Kamala Harris did better in than Biden did 4 years ago, and in the entire United States. And she spent $1.5 billion. Can y'all make that out? Billion dollars with a B. 1.5. And you still got liberals and Democrats running around here saying she ran a flawless campaign. Really, if you really look at it, by golly, she did good. I don't know what the fuss is about.
And more fundraising to be done when you were already given $1.5 billion. Third, where the hell did that money go? Is that why you spent? Is that why you gave over?
That money went to Beyonce in Italy right now with that money, shopping probably right now. Quavo probably in Northside Atlanta probably getting a 15-piece at American Deli with that money right now. Meg Thee Stallion somewhere probably buying some new outfits with the butt part cut off extra short and the breast part pushed up a lot and practicing her twerking in the mirror somewhere right now with it. Usher probably trying to buy his tape back from Diddy with that money right now. Let's see. Who else got paid? Oprah. Oprah probably is going to invest more money into Ozempic that she released a whole special for to convince the American people that it's safe and there's nothing wrong with it to use it. And now there's reports coming out that people are having issues with their stomachs and all types of things from this drug. Where else did the money go? The point is the money went to debauchery and corruption. As the Democrats call it, Monday and Tuesday. That's where the money went.
Money? Is that why you gave Al Sharpton some money? Because you wanted to justify the allocation of those funds? I don't know the answer to this question. I know it looks bad. I know it looked desperate. And I also know that when you consider the inordinate amount of times where there were interviews that Kamala Harris could have done and should have done, but failed to do, probably on the advice of her counsel, filled with a bunch of young folks wet behind the ears, breath smelling like Similac.
Shout out to Martin.
Ideologues fixated on changing the fabric and the culture of America. It slammed right in their face. How could you do something like this? How could you look this way? Got stars out there showing up. Did they get paid too?
You know they got paid.
I don't know the answer to these questions. I know they're legitimate questions.
They got paid.
It just looks that damn bad. I didn't believe, and I could not have believed that when Donald Trump was running for office and decided to run for re-election, and when he blew the moment, because remember, there was an assassination attempt, not just the two, but the first one, when the blood was trickling down his face, he was on the ground and he was raised up and Secret Service was surrounding him and he raised his fist in the air and the American flag was behind him. I didn't think there was a better visual that a politician could ever get in their lifetime.
There isn't.
But then he opened his mouth in the days and the weeks and the months to follow. And I said to myself, I've never seen anybody blow an opportunity the way Donald Trump did. And somehow, some way, it all ended up to be not true. Why? Because the Democrats made it so. It wasn't just about him winning. Y'all lost big time.
Lost the popular
because people
vote.
were calling y'all hypocrites. And they were calling y'all full of it. And they were saying y'all can't be trusted any more than you say he can't be trusted. And then you go out and you prove them right. You've got nothing. If you're the Democratic Party, here's my advice to you. Shut up. Wait for him to get pushed into office or to accept inauguration on January 20th, and he becomes the 47th president of the United States officially. Wait for then, and then judge him accordingly. Stop talking about the past. The American people have already told you to kick rocks. They don't care what you have to say anymore as Democrats. You have been squashed, obliterated. Nobody in the White House. You don't have the House. You don't have the Senate. And then you're going to walk around talking about how, oh, well, he didn't get 50% of the vote. Well, you didn't either. You lost. And every time you bring up something now, and every time something comes up, you look even worse. Donald Trump is walking into office looking good. Looking good.
He is.
Because of you. Because of how y'all chose to act, how y'all chose to conduct yourself, how you leaned on to the fringes and got a bit extreme and engaged in culture and identity politics.
Uh-oh.
And wokeness and all of this other stuff. You look bad. And Biden was supposed to be the dude that.
And to that point, real quick, I just want to say, listen, The liberals and Democrats can think that the problem that they have right now is Trump. But like I said in another video, your problem is far beyond Trump. This election was a referendum on not the last 4 years. This election was a referendum on the last. And this is my belief. Now you might not agree, but from what I'm sensing, this election was a regime change to the extent that America has regime changes. You know, like other countries, they have full military coups and takes over. We don't have that, but this is the closest thing I've seen in my lifetime to a full regime change in America. Meaning, not only did you lose the White House, you lost the Senate and the House. On top of that, the president, who's a Republican, won the popular vote, which hasn't happened in forever. Like I said before, Kamala didn't win a single county that Joe Biden didn't and last time around. Americans are tired of woke stuff. They are tired of walking on eggshells. They're tired of an over-feminized culture. They are tired of men not knowing what men are supposed to do anymore with their lives. Women thinking that they're men and overly masculine. Feminism running just rampant, running amok essentially throughout everything. People are tired. And the thing about liberals and Democrats is, like I always say, they're always the last ones to notice when the winds have shifted. You know? And that's why they always get smacked in the face the hardest, because they're busy trying to govern from a top-down perspective. They come across as we are the elitist. We're the pretentious, self-righteous ones, and we know what's good for you. Just now, you need to just do what we say and let us rule over you. And Americans are tired of that. And they showed you that they're tired of that in grand fashion. The Republican Party has become the new grassroots, multicultural, multi-ethnic, working class party now. Could you imagine going back into the 60s or the 70s and telling, Democrats or JFK that, hey, in 2024, the Republican Party is going to be the party of the working class people with multicultural ethnic alliances? Could you imagine telling him that?
So upstanding that he gives his word and he keeps his word, even though we knew he wasn't going to do it. And all he had to do was say, "It's my son." A one sentence statement. It's my son, America. I could not live with myself in my last years knowing that I let him go to prison. I could not do it. That's all he had to say. But he was feeling himself yet again and put his foot in his mouth yet again. And not just on behalf of himself, but on the Democratic Party. No wonder why a healthy portion of America is done with y'all. You do this to yourself. You do it to yourself.